Strus, Max, three, got it! Mitchell spins, shoots, banks it in! That may be the dagger!
Surprise Mobley!
Perfect pass.
Oh my! Showtime here in downtown Cleveland!
8 down, 8 to go. This is the road to 16, and can you believe what took place in Detroit just last night? Just like everyone predicted, Rafa, a 31-point demolition inside Little Caesars Arena.
It was that easy, right? Yeah, 31 points, and the best part about it, John, the Detroit Pistons at home at Game 7 were held to just hold the lead for like 20 seconds in the first quarter, and the most beautiful part about it, and what I loved to see was the Cavs held them, and they could never make a run to come back on this game.
Suffocated them the entire game. And I know I can speak for everybody in the city of Cleveland after Game 6. There was not a shadow of a doubt that the Cavs were going to go into Detroit and win in Game 7 in such dramatic fashion. John Michael, Rafa Hernandez Brito, the bilingual voice of the Cavaliers, calling these games in Spanish, coming to you from Cleveland Clinic Courts. As on to New York, we are headed next for the Eastern Conference Finals.
If you make it there, you can make it anywhere, right? In Oklahoma or in San Antonio.
That's right.
Isn't that what Big Blue Eyes used to say?
Yeah, you know, and boy, the Cavs can't wait to be inside Madison Square Garden. A homecoming of sorts coming up for both Donovan Mitchell and, of course, Kenny Atkinson as well.
I think it's a great opportunity for the team and for Donovan Mitchell. I know last night his Cavalier legacy or his basketball legacy was on the line, and he stepped up big time. But now it's everybody's 0-0. Forget about what has happened, the 14 games that we have played so far in this postseason. Now he's heading on to Madison Square Garden with the beautiful Theater Lightning and just the mecca of basketball, right? That's where you want to make it. That's where you want to make it to the finals, and Game 1 coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk all about the particulars of last night's Game 7 in Detroit. Donovan Mitchell was brilliant. Sam Merrill was an assassin throughout the entire night. The Cavalier big men in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they were dominant in this series. We're going to talk about all of that as this show unfolds. But first, let's take you inside the locker room. This was right after the Cavs victory in Game 7, and this gives you a snapshot of what this organization is all about.
25 buses. And we heard it, and like that mattered, Dan. Like that, like what's great about this, the little stuff matters.
It was an incredible day. We had this team for 22 years. It was so far my second favorite day, and I think my most favorite day is coming up here soon.
What do you got, Don?
Jared Allen, dog.
Hell yeah.
We come out with that force. We just gotta find a way to do it when our backs aren't against the wall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all see it. It's there, and it starts with me. But like, we do that we're tough to beat on any given night, even if shots aren't going in. So like, that's the blueprint. Let's just make sure we don't have to get punched in the face before we respond like that. You know?
Your leadership this year. Think back. 17 and 16. House is starting to fall down, and you carried us on the court every night, 35 and 10. Like, you elevated our young guys. You're out there playing with young guys because Sam's out, Evan's out. We had a lot of injuries, and we turned to you. We never celebrate you in these things. You don't want that. You don't want the praise. But tonight, you deserve the praise.
Yeah. But like, we didn't just come here just to do this. Right? You know what I'm saying? So like, till we land, enjoy, and then we go from there. All right?
What do you got, Don?
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North convenience stores. True North and New Phoenix Energy are the perfect matchup. Right now, grab 2 Phoenix Energy drinks for just $5. True North stores and True Rewards. Fast, friendly, clean. By Sarah Auto Park, your buzzer beater for greater selection. Make your shot with 5 great brands and dozens of pre-owned vehicles. Visit SarahAutoPark.com. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North convenience stores, New Phoenix Energy drinks, natural caffeine, zero sugar, plus hydration to keep you in the game. Grab 2 Phoenix energy drinks for $5 at participating True North stores. Find a location with the True Rewards app. And Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, John and Rafa back here on the road to 16. On the other side of the break, in that Cavalier locker room, Kenny Atkinson talked about the leadership of Donovan Mitchell, and I think it underlies what a roller coaster of a season it has been. I mean, the postseason has been such an up and down affair, but let's not forget the first half of the season, the Cavaliers had a ton of players on the injured list, and the one remaining lone constant all season long was number 45, Donovan Mitchell.
For sure, Donovan Mitchell carried this team, like Kenny says, and also, it just goes to show how, as a team, we were able to survive this. Because in the playoffs, John, it's about taking your opponent's strength and just keeping them from them, and then exploiting their weaknesses. And Donovan Mitchell has to struggle a little bit with all the defensive schemes that Detroit threw at them. But at the end of the day, Game 7, he knows the team is on his shoulder, and he came through.
This was his game. I mean, he had his fingerprints all over Game 7 from the opening tip. And you think about it, when you go up and down this Cavalier lineup, Donovan, in this Game 7, he's heard the national narrative for a long time that he's never been out of the second round. James Harden's heard the national narrative about his performances in the postseason. I mean, even the Cavs frontliners, the Cavs forwards and centers, they've heard about the physicality over and over and over again for years in terms of the national media. They come into this Game 7 and play that kind of a game. They exercised, I'd imagine, a lot of demons last night in Detroit.
And the way you answered that is right off the bat, especially when you're on the road. When Donovan Mitchell comes into the series averaging half the assists that he had averaged in the regular season, and 3 of the first 4 buckets by the Cavs were assisted by Donovan Mitchell to the big guys. So that's the answer right there.
Robert, to me, that was the best. The ball movement in the first 4 to 5 minutes, they were getting stops, moving the basketball. You want to talk about a tone setter. That, to me, was it in Game 7.
Cavaliers basketball, we always talked about how if the ball moves, eventually somebody in the defense won't be able to rotate, and the ball is always faster than the defense, and that's what the Cavs showed last night, and I hope that they have figured it out. It's a whole different series, whole different monster, but they know, like Don says, we have it in us to do that and just do it before we get punched in the face.
Both Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen were superb last night in Game 7. Here they are at the mic, fueled by True North Convenience Stores.
For you, what does this mean?
A breath of fresh air, but like you said, we didn't just come here that wasn't the goal when we started the season. Even last year, when we lost Indiana, we had our goals set on getting to the finals. And we're just one step closer. But yeah, it's been almost a decade of running into the same issue, right? Like, you know what I mean? So for sure, I personally and as a team, we can breathe a little bit, but in the same token, we can only breathe for about 12 hours and then get right back to it. So it's a balance. It's a blessing. God is good. And I wouldn't be here without my teammates, but we got work to do coming up for sure.
What did you see from him in those moments? And how do you feel like his leadership has maybe, helped lift you guys through this?
It's incredible. I hope Don knows this. I'll follow him into war. I'll trust every single decision that he makes, every single shot that he takes, every single word that he speaks in the locker room. It speaks volumes to how he is as a person. He goes out there and tries to, and he does follow his own message. And, it's easy for a team, easy for myself to follow somebody that goes out there and gives 110% no matter what. And high-level character guy as well, that makes it even easier for not only the guys who've been in the league, who's seen guys like him who don't lead in certain ways, but especially for the young guys as well to follow that lead. So it was incredible for him to keep us together during those times.
Thank you.
Game 7, Jared Allen it was. Jared with another big game in a deciding ball game in a series. Coming in to this Detroit series, we knew what the guards were going to bring. We know we got all-stars all over the joint in James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Cade Cunningham. Many thought, and they were right, that the series would come down to the trenches. And boy, the Cavaliers, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, were dominant. They won that battle. Jalen Duren was completely neutralized. This guy was an all-star this season. They got Isaiah Stewart off the floor. Paul Reed came in, gave Detroit some decent minutes. But, man, that front court battle belonged decisively to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
To Evo Mobley, and I have to say this, Jared Allen becoming only the third Cavalier in history to have multiple 20-point Game 7. LeBron James, Donovan Mitchell, and the guy who created Toronto and Detroit. And now we're going to put the fro on the Statue of Liberty because I think he's going to have to play big. He has a history, obviously, that first round loss against the Knicks. Everybody talks about the comments after the game, but I think it's a whole different series. But you mentioned it right, and I think everybody knows that the Cavaliers have to establish and feed the guys in the middle to open up the perimeter for those guards that you just mentioned.
What a road it's been. Let's just take you back to, the first round, right? The Cavaliers comfortably win games 1 and 2 against Toronto. They go up north of the border, run into trouble in games 3 and 4. Cavs win game 5, but then R.J. Barrett hits that wild game winner in 6. The Cavs have to overcome again in Game 7, trailing at halftime against Toronto. Go into the Detroit series, get knocked around in Detroit in Games 1 and 2, and then how about how it plays out? The Cavs win the Game 5 in Detroit, come back in Game 6. We know what happened there. But then the response in Game 7, I think the point of it all is when you overcome all of these things, man, can that be galvanizing in the NBA in terms of the postseason? And that's what I think the Cavs are hoping for here. Coming into New York, you saw that locker room. You see these players. Yeah. I think it bodes well for this basketball team.
I think it does, and it's a whole different matchup to start with. I think we can throw away the regular season, the 1 and 2 record for the Cavs.
Completely different.
The first game was the first game of the season. The second game was the Christmas day.
And the Cavs
James Harden wasn't here.
The Cavs have a completely different team.
It's a whole different series. But I do think that the best part that the Cavs have found in Detroit is not only just what we saw in Game 7, but the fact that we can win on the road with this team. And that's something that we had the luxury not to do when we played Toronto because we had that extra bullet to play at home Game 7. But for us to win Game 5 and Game 7 in Detroit, it's a huge statement for the Cavs going into not-so-friendly confines of Madison Square Garden and knowing that the team ball, the movement of the ball is what kept us, in the top 4 in the East just because we were able to get those 20, 30 assist games. And that's what the Cavs need to play when they go to New York.
No question about it. Tomorrow night, Game 1. This show will travel to New York, the road to 16 from Madison Square Garden and from New York City. That's all straight ahead. Also straight ahead, we're going to hear from Sam Merrill, who was fantastic last night in Game 7 in Detroit. All straight ahead, right here on the road to 16.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North convenience stores, new Phoenix energy drinks, natural caffeine, zero sugar, plus hydration to keep you in the game. Grab 2 Phoenix energy drinks for $5 at participating True North stores. Find a location with the True Rewards app. And Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Gilbert, and one of the things that Dan said was that you are the spark for this team. When you hear that coming from the guy who runs the organization, what does that mean to you and what goes through your head?
It means a lot that the whole organization, even from top to bottom, has that level of trust in me. And he sent me a message before the game as well, just stating how important, how much of an impact that he believes that I can have on this game and this whole series. And it's motivating, especially when somebody like that with that stature has that confidence in me, and it gives me that extra push.
Oh, that's all it takes. You get a text from your boss, and
I know how that feels, John. I got a text from Dan saying I'm the key to the road to 16. So here I am with you.
You thought you were the key to all 4 finals runs as well. How about that story, though? Right?
Yeah.
Dan sits down with Kenny Atkinson, has dinner the night before the game, tells him, I think Jared Allen's the key. Texts Jared, and that's what we get.
And they drew the first play for J.A. That's what Kenny said. And then again, hey, the boss is right, right?
The boss is right. The boss is all right. This boss,
but he knows.
Again, the whole experience, just to see all the fans there and to get this done in Dan's hometown, to head on to the Eastern Conference Final, it has been special all the way through. It hasn't been easy, but it's been special all the way through. A big part of the reason why the Cavs are here has been the supporting cast.
Correct.
I mean, Kenny makes the move to put Max Strus in the starting lineup last night for Game 7. The Cavs are not even in a position to win a Game 7 if it's not for Max's contributions throughout this postseason. And Dennis Schroeder pushing the pace. We talked about how important it was for the Cavs, moving the ball, getting into offensive sets before the Piston defense got back and got set. Dennis has been terrific. And how about your buddy Sammy Merrill?
Oh my God! And I think what you hit about the role players. I think in any 7-game series, yes, your superstars will win you 2 or 3, but there's one game, like Game 5, when Max Strus just blew up from long distance, and in Game 7, where my friend, the latter-day sniper, Mr. Sam Merrill, el francotirador de los últimos días, is coming in and just getting his 5 threes. But let me tell you something. This is what Cavs basketball was all season long. Yeah. Dean Wade, 5 quick points coming off the bench. Come on, you got it. That was a key moment as well. And Sam Schroeder, you just mentioned him, and also Dean, they do things that don't show up in those numbers that people like to talk about. And those are moments and things that are key for Cavaliers basketball.
Dean Wade was huge in this series. I mean, Cade Cunningham, he had his one game where he went bananas, but for the most part, he was worn out throughout the series in big part because of Dean Wade. And you said it, Dean had games where he had no points and was still a huge, huge factor in the outcome. All right, here are our plays of the game. They are driven, as always, by Sarah Auto Park, and this one highlights and spotlights Sam Merrill. We know about the threes, but how about taking the charge? He had a little dust-up with Asar Thompson, not just last night in Game 7. This is carried on throughout the series, and I think we know who got the better eventually of that. And, you know, Sam, so good throughout the evening, so tough, both ends of the floor, and this might be the Sam Merrill game, Game 7 in Detroit.
I think that's the game that we were waiting for him to have. And one thing that everybody needs to understand is that when we talk about Sam Merrill, everybody thinks of shooting first. But his game has grown so much defensively. But he's the guy that knows where he has to be, knows where the weak side help has to come from, and he has been a pest when it comes to like down to the end of the game. And Sam defensively adding to his 5 threes is the Sam Merrill that the Cavs are going to need in New York.
Drawing big charges, takes a ton of moxie, and here was Sam.
And that was a big charge, by the way.
Huge. I mean, again, even to be able to stand in there and take the blow. He got hit in the face, did Sam. But Sam at the podium was pretty special. Let's take a look.
Donovan is someone that, you know, it's hard to describe like what Donovan means to me. I remember when I was in the G League with the Charge, there was one time where, you know, we would go after them. So one time I was out there early shooting, they had finished, and so I was just sitting on the side, and he was sitting there, and he came up and, you know, we talked, and we had known each other from the Utah days, but he didn't have to do that. And the moment I signed, got called up from the Charge, like, he's been such a great dude. And I feel like even though we've only played together for now 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, I feel like the Utah days for him I was a part of, because I was in Utah, I was at Utah State, I grew up a Jazz fan, like that was very important to me. Like I was at his first game. I went to a couple playoff games his rookie year. So you're not going to find a guy more happy for him than I am. But I know he wants more, and we all want more.
And what do you think of the 25 buses that Dan Gilbert had everyone come out for tonight? Could you hear the fans?
Oh yeah, they were fantastic. I mean, the Gilberts are unbelievable. It's a big reason why I re-signed here this summer. The way that they take care of the whole organization, the way they take care of families. We got the best family room in the league, I think. They're always doing stuff for our wives and my kids, and it's just top to bottom a first class organization, and it's because of the Gilbert family. So them bringing up all these people, and they were very, very loud, and it was a lot of fun, really cool to see.
The road to 16 is fueled by True North Convenience Stores. True North Convenience Stores and new Phoenix Energy are the perfect matchup. Right now, grab 2 Phoenix Energy drinks for just $5. True North Stores and True Rewards. Fast, friendly, clean. And by Toyota, your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. We're back here inside Cleveland Clinic Course to wrap things up. The road to the finals is driven by Toyota, and the Western Conference Finals start tonight in Oklahoma City. The undefeated in the playoffs, Thunder. They host San Antonio, and that shapes up to be a beauty. The Cavs get it started tomorrow night inside Madison Square Garden. That is our next stop, fueled by True North Convenience Stores. After the Cavaliers were off a breeze through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, they are now set to go in the Eastern Conference Finals. First time back, by the way, since 2018.
And at the end of the day, it's a 7-game series, and whatever happens tomorrow is just going to dictate what is going to develop in this series as we go on forward. So again, all you have to do is win one on the road to take care of business at home, and that's what the Cavs are looking to do.
It has been a roller coaster so far. 8 of the wins taken care of. Road to 16.
Halfway there.
Only 8 more. It's been easy so far. Hey, for Rafa, I'm John. Until tomorrow night, take care.